The first stupid comment of the week comes from Twitchy Rabbit Guy.
Thousands of people die of starvation every day, but you hippies cry about killing some fat creatures that spend all day munching grass and making annoying sounds? Just be glad that this meat is provided to you and that you don't have to starve to death.
It is awful that thousands of people die of starvation every day, yet there is not a lot I can do to stop it. I do not live in regions of the world where I can provide hands-on aid to starving people. Often the cause of so much death is due to political instability, wars, and lack of resources. As an outsider, there is not much I can do to remedy this. Just like I can have no impact on the denuclearization of my country or others, I have to choose my efforts and battles wisely. As a vegan, I realize that I need to eat at least 3 times a day, and it's entirely in my control what I put into my body. Regardless of what you eat or don't, you still need to go grocery shopping. Regardless of what you wear, you still need to purchase clothing. As a vegan, I find it morally repugnant to enslave, use, and kill other sentient animals. I recognize that eating animals and using them is no longer necessary for the large majority of people on this planet, and it takes little effort on my part to avoid directly supporting the industry. When I go shopping, it takes almost no additional effort to choose vegan options over non-vegan options. Every time I buy food, clothing, or consumer goods, I vote with my wallet. We live in a world with a lot of pain and suffering, much of which stems from human activity. I choose to support compassionate, sustainable, and environmentally responsible foods and products because we share this world with other humans and non-human animals, and it is the responsibility of all to make this world a better place for all. Lone Rook had this to say.
Lots of animals die to deforestation, etc., involved in soy production and agriculture concerning vegetarian and vegan products. Reforming industry to be kinder to animals is a completely different thing to avoiding animal proteins and fats.
Oh, the irony. What Lone Rook has failed to understand here is that most deforestation worldwide is directly connected with the raising of animals for food. Over 70% of soy crops worldwide end up as animal feed. Large tracts of rainforest are also cleared for grazing lands. This means that due to the increase in demand for animal products, more land has to be cleared in order to plant crops which will mostly go to feed farm animals directly. Over 56 billion land animals worldwide are killed each year for food. These animals need to be fed and hydrated. The amount of resources that go into raising these animals for their bodies is unbelievable and entirely unnecessary, irresponsible, and immoral. Reforming the industry will not eliminate the need to feed and hydrate the billions of animals each year. Animals used for food and experimentation are considered property by the industry. How animals are used and treated is entirely dependent on their net worth. The animal's care and attention will always be limited by the industry's desire to maximize profits. Al-Kai 1721 made this comment.
Making your daughter a vegan is a mistake. You should let her be able to choose for herself.
I don't believe in making anyone do anything they do not want to do. However, as a parent, it is your responsibility to educate and raise those under your care. Parents teach their children their own values, customs, and beliefs. The large majority of the people in this world teach their children that non-human animals are food and that it's perfectly okay to kill and eat them. Kids grow up into adults and parents and then teach this same perspective without question to the next generation. I believe that parents should not teach children what to believe, but rather teach them how to think. Teaching a child to be skeptical of claims, to demand evidence, and to believe in things only when there is good reason to believe is always good. Wanting something to be true does not make it real. Fantasy should be identified and exposed for what it is. If my future child decides to be vegan, I will be very happy for their choice. If she does not become a vegan, I will respect her right to believe what she chooses to believe. Samizer gifted us with this comment.
It has been proven that plants do have memory and have intelligence by Professor Stefano Mancuso. That being said, killing plants or animals to eat them is not a bad thing to do. It is something we do for survival, but most animals get slaughtered in a cruel way. I feel sad for those animals, and it has been 3 years since I have posted here, and I have taught about being a vegetarian, but most doctors disadvise being a vegetarian. That is why I'm not.
Not the plant sentient argument again. Every long-time vegan has heard this horrible argument and dreads explaining how this is wrong. Plants do not have sense organs and do not have a brain. and they do not have nerve endings. Plants react to their environmental stimuli, however, they do not choose their actions. They track the sun, respond to gravity, react to the lack of the sun's energy during the night, and emit chemicals that react with other plants. From an evolutionary perspective, you have to ask, what is the point of sentience? What does sentience do for animals? Sentience is the ability to sense, perceive, and consciously interact with the natural world. It is the ability of an animal to react to a situation of danger and survive. It is the ability of an animal to choose an action and prosper. In times of danger, an animal's ability to perceive the danger gives it an advantage. The animal is able to try and avoid the danger and survive another day. Plants, on the other hand, are affixed to the earth. They have no way of avoiding danger should it present itself. What would be the point of developing sentience if it does nothing to further your chances of survival? Even if I were to concede that plants have a type of sentience and an interest in their own survival, it would still make sense to be a vegan. You have to kill a lot more plants to feed farmed animals than would be required to directly feed humans. It is always much more efficient to eat plants directly than to eat an animal who has wasted a lot of that energy in the development and maintenance of their body. We know what it's like to be a sentient animal living on this planet. We can extrapolate that further and empathize how other sentient non-human animals may feel. We do not need to eat other animals to be healthy, and therefore we choose to breed, enslave, torture, and kill animals for reasons other than necessity. When the actions of one sentient being affects another, it is our responsibility to evaluate the interests of each party and ensure that the right to life and freedom is not negatively affecting the other. We understand this when discussing human-to-human interactions. However, due to our speciesism, we seem to be inconsistent with the other animals we share this world. This would be a very different discussion if we had a real need to eat animals for our survival. However, most of us don't live in that world. Doctors typically get very little nutritional training and bring with them already held biases from their upbringing. My suggestion would be to do a search of the following doctors and nutritionists and see for yourself that a balanced vegan diet is very healthy and that most of the leading causes of death in developed nations are caused by the consumption of animal products. Here are some famous vegan MDs: Dr. Michael Greger, Dr. John McDougall, Dr. Neil Bernard, Dr. Caldwell Esselstyn, Dr. T. Colin Campbell, Dr. Joel Furman, Dr. Michael Clapper, Dr. Dean Ornish. Some well-known vegan dietitians include Brenda Davis and Jack Norris. This list is by no means exhaustive, and I would encourage you to do your own research and find out others who may be in your local area. Lastly, 3Don602 made a fool of himself with this gem:
Jesus ate meat, and so did a lot of other people in the Bible.
As an atheist, I couldn't care less what Jesus, the historical or mythical figure, ate or did not eat. The outrageous claims of the Bible have not been verified to be true with evidence. Therefore, if Jesus did exist, there is no reason to think he was anything more than a human being, and I don't care in the slightest when an uneducated carpenter's son thought we should eat or not. The supernatural claims in the Bible have not been confirmed to be true, and therefore, the most one can say about Jesus was that he was a cult leader with a small following that ended up becoming popular. I take my nutritional advice from dietitians and medical professionals, not the printed words attributed to someone who may or may not have lived millennia ago.
If you enjoyed this video, click the like button below. To ensure you don't miss out on future content, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Keep up to date with what's up on my Facebook page and follow me on Twitter. All links can be found in the video description below or on the official Vegan Atheist website. Lastly, if you like the work I do and have a few bucks to spare, please consider becoming a patron of the channel by supporting my Patreon project. Thank you for your ongoing support, and as always, thank you for watching.